Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Star Sister Oracle. My name is Michelle. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. This is going to be a collective reading. I was going to start the May Teroscopes, but I'm just feeling called to kind of talk to all of us right now after having a conversation with one of my elders. And yeah, so I already have the spread out here. So let me just go ahead and jump right in. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much. Already doing my little 32 subscribers. Thank y'all. All right. So this, I don't even want to say this month, but right now, excuse me if y'all hear me clearing my throat. I just took some little plant medicine and still working its way through me. All right. So there, we've got the first card on the board is the Temperance card. Where first card on the board is the Temperance card, and then it's clarified by the Five of Cups. It feels like there's some adjustments that we're all going through internally. We're like, man, like, what do I care about anymore? Like, do I even want what I want anymore? We've sort of been activated in a sense that it's like, we're like, okay, something definitely needs to change, right? I know for me personally, yesterday I pulled some cards for myself, and Spirit literally told me, no, you no longer need to be seeking employment. You need to be offering, right? And my Maria, sister shaman, who I will put in the comments below so you guys can be directed towards her work, she said, we are all grieving the fact that we don't have to work so hard, right? It's like, dang, like I have what I need to make, to create financial stability for my family. I already have what I need to create, even just like new food practices, right? It's like you have stuff already in your cupboard. You already have. And so much of American capitalism has told us to look outside of ourselves. And I feel like now we are getting to the work of balancing what or getting to know, right? Because the Temperance is like a sort of an alchemist, right? And he has to know the contents of that cup in order to find equilibrium, right? And so we are trying to know the contents of ourselves in order to find equilibrium. And that means walking away from a lot of which we've grown accustomed to, a lot of which we've already been conditioned to believe. We're like, wait, who am I? What do I really want? And Spirit is really trying to move us into a new position. The Spirit is trying to reorient you right now, and I want to confirm with you right now, if no one has, that yes, you are going through an initiation process. There's this book I'm reading called the Healing Lord, what is it? The Healing Wisdom of Africa, and it talks about how in African traditions and in the communities, you go through initiation processes. There is even things going on at birth where shamans are involved and people's purposes are given to them, and we don't have that over here in the West, and so we feel so lost because we're like, man, what do I really want? And it's like, whatever you feel the most called to, whatever gives you the most joy when you do it, right? Like there's no need to look too much further, right? And so grieving, again, like Sister Shaman said, we are grieving that we don't have to work so hard. We are grieving the fact that, man, I could really just let my heart direct me. Man, I could really just let my feelings direct me. And that's going to take some practice, okay? Temperance. That's going to take some practice and some patience. All right. But once you decide and you choose to listen to that Six of Wands, right? Moving into victory. But before we can do that, we've got the Star card in the reverse here, right? We're there's something, and I'm not even going to say halting the rebirthing process, because you need to go through this tension, right? The reverse cards are either in tension or in conflict, or they're overexerted or underexerted. There's just some manipulation here, and we need to find some ease. We need to find some ease in this rebirthing process. We're needing to decide exactly what we want to call towards us. We're needing to decide to I'm really seeing this sword that she's holding in her hand, and it's perfectly positioned here on my this green little thing I have here, and it's perfectly positioned in the center of this. And so it's sort of like she's holding up her sword of truth, right? We're having to decide for ourselves our truth. We are no longer looking outside of ourselves to find the truth. And then once we decide that truth, we call out to the universe and we wait patiently for all of those things to find us, right? And when you do the work, as Sister Shaman told me, she's like, what did I tell you in our reading in February? She said, all you have to do is keep working on yourself and people will call you. Love will find you. Your people will find you if we continue to do the work, right? A cousin just reached out to me. I haven't heard from him in years. And for some reason, right when the virus started, I thought about him. And I was like, is he okay? Because he was going through some of his own troubles. I won't share all that now, but I haven't spoken to him in years, you guys. And for some reason, I felt called to that, right? And so I asked her, his mom, is he okay? She said, yes, he's good with the grace of God. Yesterday, he reaches out to me. So we are all being activated. We are all hearing the chirpings of the birds have been going crazy, y'all. I don't know if y'all been listening. And today, the wind in the suburbs of Chicago is like, and I mean, we had a storm too. So this feels very Oya, the goddess Oya, who brings about change and transformation through storms. We're going through a transformation. You are correct. I want to sit here and affirm you and confirm that. But there is something that you're needing to gently love about, gently. You know what? Let's get some clarification about this star card. There it goes. Love, with the 10 of cups at the bottom, and the 2 of cups just came out to explain our disoriented star. And I feel for this 2 of cups is you looking in the mirror, you looking at you and saying, look at all I have to offer. Look at what we have to offer. You and your higher self, let's say. You guys are having to take some time out and meditate or write or, just spend some time in nature, right? Like the star card. Sit near some water, I'm hearing. Listen to the bird, like just watch the birds and watch how they're flying. And I saw 3 birds all fly in unison into a tree. And me and my girlfriends have a group chat called 3 of Cups. And I said, there we go. That's us. Coming together, right? We've been called to each other where we're like, yo, you have been on my heart. Why haven't we been linking up? This is that time. I'm feeling as if that communion with self will create will help you expand your community. That communion with self will help you expand your outer community. Okay. And I've been thinking about community quite a bit and how we lack that here in Western society, and it has so many of us disoriented. It has so many of us questioning ourselves. It has so many of us feeling left out in the cold. Very, very lonely times right now. But please gather. This is a space for us to gather and to come back to ourselves. Right? And once we come back to ourselves, once we get this star in the upright, when we decide, yes, I am initiated and now I'm ready for the next step, right? This feels like it's in the reverse too, because you're not realizing that, yes, you've just gone through an initiation process. No, we don't have the traditions of our ancestors of having initiations, right? Sometimes we treat our birthdays like an initiation process, and maybe we should dig into that a little bit more. You know what I mean? Maybe we should be creating a space to really listen to the troubles of, that person whose birthday it is and being like, yo, like this is what I went through. And for us as a community to be a mirror and say, yes, we see you. We see the work that you've been doing and we're so proud of you. Let's keep going, right? Okay, that's the one initiation process. Let's celebrate, right? Let's celebrate your birthday, right? Let's celebrate the triumphs that you, what am I trying to say, y'all? The trials that you have turned into triumph, right? She's like overlooking this cliff and she's just ready for more, right? We're ready for more. Once we reorient ourselves, once we look ourselves in the mirror, and it's really interesting because the last card on the board is Judgment, which is that, like I said, that mirror, looking at ourselves in the mirror. And first of all, you have come so far, okay? Let's not forget. You have come so far. You have come so far. And maybe no one has told you that because it is a lonely time to go through spiritual transformation oftentimes. So much of it is by ourselves. And there's such a lack of community. And I really want to get to the work of fixing that, to be honest, personally. Yeah, anyway. All right, let's keep it going. So once we reorient ourselves, once we go through this initiation process on our own and face ourselves in the mirror and then find, start talking to our people, right? That's when we feel confirmed. We're like, okay, I'm on the right track. Other people have been moving like me, right? Other people have similar ideas as you. Trust me. I had a girlfriend reach out to me like, yo, we should start this business. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Me and this other girl were talking about starting a little something. I'm like, we could make this work, right? So it's like, you guys think you're so alone, and you are not. You are so not alone. You are about to walk into some new conversations. You guys are about to walk into some new online communities. You guys are about to open yourselves up to be received and receive others, and find that you haven't been alone. That you guys have been working seemingly alone in your own little pockets, but that's when we need to come back together. All right. And once we do, we've got you guys had 3 major arcanas, first of all, in this first row. Like I said, major shifts happening internally. All right. And then we've got the Hangman. Ooh, I like that. With the Hierophant clarifying, you are your own teacher. You are your own spirit. You are the spiritual master, Hierophant. And the Hierophant, Sister Shaman and I were just talking. Master student, student master teacher, right? They are all one and the same. He's not just a master of the spiritual. He's also a student. Yes, he has people here lying at his feet, but the further study of the Hierophant lets you know that he is a student, because you can't become a master if you're not a student, if you're not opening yourself up to learn, if you're not intellectually humble and put yourselves at the feet of other people, whether they be 22 or 62 or 82, right? All of us have something to teach each other. And I feel as if we are going to come into this, right? Because once we talk to people, people are like, yo, what you had to say was on point, right? And so it's like we will start to shift our perspective and realize, oh, like I am a master in some ways, right? And then we've got the Judgment card. Are you ready? Are you ready to face, right? Are you ready to step into that power? It's time. Six of Wands at the end, right? We've got, and then the last thing on the board we've got here, or the last row, is 6 of Wands, 3 of Wands, Judgment, right? So we've got her walking into her power, walking into victory, right? After she's come out of initiation, and she's like, woo, what a time, goddamn. Okay, what a time. I've been through some stuff. Okay. And now I'm asking Spirit, thank you so much for getting me out of that, through that. I'm sorry. Thank you for getting me through that. Thank you for the lessons that I learned. Thank you for the deepening belief in myself. Thank you for connecting me back, right? Because we felt alone. Thank you for connecting me back to my people. And now we've accumulated new desires. We've accumulated new ways of being. We're softer. We're gentler with people. We're less judgmental now. And so we're asking Spirit, please, whatever your desires are, we're asking for that here. And then once Spirit says, okay, here's your assignment. Here's what you need to offer to your community, right? Are you ready to turn in your homework that you picked up after that initiation process? And then it's interesting, because I asked her what they want us to allow is to defend. And I'm feeling as if it felt different when I first pulled the card, but it feels like now it's about not so much defending actively, but standing in your truth, right? Judgment card. Standing in your truth, naked and bare. Standing in your truth, naked and bare, and saying, no. People are like, well, where's your certificate? No, I don't need to. I'm not going to defend my spiritual development to you. Who are you? Right? Even if it's our family. And I would never, the right people, your people, I don't ask my friends, well, how did you decide you're going to be a tarot reader? Right? I have other friends who are activated. I have other friends who are healers in other modalities. I don't sit up there questioning them. I say, yes, girl, let's heal. Let's heal together. Let's continue to heal ourselves. Let's heal the community together. I don't ask my people to defend their what am I trying to say? I don't ask people to defend who they are now, right? This isn't regular old capitalism where I'm asking for a certificate or I'm asking for, well, where's your papers that says that you've done all this? No, that is internal work, and these things are invisible, right? And we need to sort of appreciate the intangible as much as we appreciate the tangible. If not, we need to overcorrect maybe and really start to honor, respect, put some respect on the intangible things that we go through. Ashe. Put some respect on the intangible things that we go through. I ain't got a certificate for you, boo, about with all this, right? And so we're subconsciously, we're gonna have to repel those people. And they will. They have no space with where you are right now. 10 of Cups at the bottom of at the bottom. This is your confirmation. This is us coming together to honor you and say, yes, boo, you did that. Amen. Let the sun shine on you, right? We've come out, right? It reminds me of my sessions of the ceremonies that I did in Colombia with the shaman and my dear friend and a host of other people, right? You go through that. By the time it's nighttime, you take the tea and you go through what you go through. Some comes up, the trauma comes up, you laugh, you love, you realize the universal love of all things, the agape love of all things, the divinity and the person sitting next to you who you did not really know a week ago. And you're like, I love you, like, and you're so powerful. It just feels like that, right? When you're going through those sort of ceremonies, you see the God in other people, and then you come out in the morning after going through those shadow periods, and you say, "Look, we did that together." That's what community ritual does for us. It brings us together and points us back to the divinity that resides in all of us always, and that's why we need community and ritual to remind us of that. All right, beautiful people, just saw the 8 of Wands. Ain't no going back, okay? Sister Shaman just told me, she said, we moving, okay? So that's the reading for you guys. You on the money. Union with the divine it's here. You are, you are. Let's see. Advice, Spirit, just to keep us, right? Because I don't want to act like this is all, right? Because we did have that star in the reverse. So give us some advice, please, Spirit, how to go through this process with ease, come out of this initiation process with ease. Thank you so much. Ooh. 2 cards came out. Foundations and retreat. What did I just say? You go through that dark period where you're like, okay, gotta go through this cave, right? Which you have been. You have been. And it's laying a new foundation for you guys, okay? It's laying a completely new foundation. I'm gonna read this foundation card, which is the staff. Staff lends itself for you to lean on whilst you take stock of where you are on your journey. This is a vital requirement for you right now, as you seem to be walking on rather shaky ground and don't feel supported. What did I say? Because y'all got community. And self-trust is what a lot of us are lacking, myself included. Your journey has taken many twists and turns, and although you have tried to remain focused, your desired destination still feels out of reach. And it might feel out of reach because you're like, now you've activated yourself, and you're like, wow, I have so much more to go. Right? Okay, now that I know, now that I've seen the spirit world, now that, I've seen wait, there's more to this, right? You're questioning. Choose staff as your companion, for it will accompany you back to your roots, foundations. This is an opportunity for you to look at where you have been and where you would like to be heading. Most importantly, you are being guided to go back to basics and remember where you have come. Have you stayed on your path or have you strayed? Looking back and acknowledging what, where, and how you started will bring a fresh, renewed outlook and the strength you need to take this journey to completion. I want to add something there. Have you stayed on your path or have you strayed? I feel as if, and this is what the Healing Wisdom of Africa talks about, is that in certain African communities, the purpose of the of the child is known before the child gets here, and then the community acts as a guide to keep that person on their purpose. In the West, we do not have that. We come out of the womb, and by the time we're 5, we've almost been stunted. So I don't want you guys to say, oh, I've strayed. Honestly, now you're awakening to where you were initially, where your divine soul, your soul mission was calling you to anyway. You're forgetting all that you've been born into. You're grieving, like what Sister Shama said. You're grieving the fact that you don't have to work so hard anymore, and you're now being remembered of the ease. You're being remembered that, man, like, we need to go back to, I need to go and talk to my ancestors and ask them how I can create wealth. I need to go back to my ancestors and ask them how I can better serve my community. Man, I need to go back, right? And so that you can acknowledge where you would like to be, right? It may be time to start all over again. If so, rock bottom will give you the perfect foundation to build upon. Right? Some of us are in the depth, where some of us are in the beginning of this cave, and some of us are at the end of this cave, and we see the light, right? So, of course, there's lots of people watching this, so where you are in that journey, but the fact of the matter is, and this is the labyrinth, which I have right here on my arm, fact of the matter is you're on the spiritual journey, and all the labyrinth teaches is that you're on the spiritual path. All you have to do is continue. I don't think you ever really stray. I think you collect the lessons that is needed and perhaps necessary so that you can help somebody out of that situation when you elevate, right? So all you have to do is begin. You guys have already decided to begin. Now the decision is just to keep moving. Staff revealed. Used for thousands of years by prophets, royalty, high priests, and priestesses, this magical tool, also known as a stave, is a symbol of authority. You are your own authority. What did I say? You realize that you are the master. The first recorded use of a staff is in ancient Egypt. Moses used a staff to part the Red Sea. In modern spiritual practices, a staff is used to cast a circle for protection and as an aid to navigate the mystical path. Thank you for protection. As you guys go into these depths, protect yourself. Ask your ancestors for protection. Your ancestors are there protecting you. Even if you don't realize, I actually wept about this the other day. I thought about times when I could have very well been in danger, and I was like, I wasn't though. And I just cried. I don't know exactly what ancestor, but it was them. And I said, thank you. I was just crying. I said, thank you so much for getting me through that. Thank you for letting me have an enjoyable time and not a dangerous time. And then the troubles that you do go through, don't say, well, y'all didn't protect me. No, these things that happen, they activate us, they strip us, and then they build us back up so that we become even more strong. Other divinatory meanings: keep your eyes firmly on the path before you. Don't let others divert you from your journey. Like I said, you're going to naturally repel these energies, all right? And ask your ancestors to continue to do that. I always say, please, spirit ancestors, keep me aligned and in flow with the people who I need, and please remove anybody who isn't right for me right now. You're right on track. Keep going. Make a commitment and stand strong in your convictions. You are in the perfect position to start anew. Don't back down. Support will be provided. All right, so retreat and find that foundation, find that connection, and you guys are being so lovingly guided. Last but not least, I'm gonna do a little love message to end this thing. Thank you, Spirit. Love message for us to hold in our little hearts. Consider your foundation. Are you kidding me? Look at how committed you are to love. Consider your foundations. You know what? I'm going to read this. It's the number 50, number 5, which is all about transformations. Love means committing without guarantees. Commit to the journey, to the spiritual journey. In love, we give ourselves completely in the hope it will be lasting. Love is an act of faith. Surround yourself with love and know that your life will be better for it. Strong relationships and love can come from friendship. For lasting love, support those you treasure and be a genuine friend, so your relationships are based on affection, common values, and shared respect. Take things slow. It is important not to rush. Release any fear about release any fear you have about love. If a person brings out the best in you and you in them, things are on the right track. A couple embraces as they look at a charming cottage. We see the couple from the back, and this indicates you may not have the full picture. However, there is no need, show that to you guys. There is no need to push or control what is unfolding. The candles and the tree branches bring light and positive blessings to you. There is no need to push or control what is unfolding. Love and light to you guys. Thank you guys so much. Please let me know how these energies are playing out for you. Love y'all so much. Just saw the number 2525. See you guys on the next one.